Okay, from the last unpackaging, this is the spinner that jumped out and said, review me first. So this is the Nautilus from Hong Kong, and it comes in this nice big box. And inside the box is a nice big case. And inside the great big case is the little fidget spinner, the Nautilus. They have two versions of this. They have the blasted version and the polished version. I have the polished version here. First impression is it's really slick. I mean, it's everything's rounded off. It's a little bit slippery. But the second impression is that it's very heavy too. So given that I'm looking for spin times most of the time, I'm interested to see how long this thing will spin. It's very, very quiet. Can't even hear it. But it's so slick that I'm having a little trouble getting it going really fast. But it doesn't make much noise at all. Has kind of flat buttons on it with a little indentation in the middle, and it's rounded everywhere. It's just rounded off like crazy. So this could be interesting. I'm going to test this one next and see what kind of spin times we get for this. All right, we're going to get to that now. Okay, I finally got done testing the Nautilus. First off, I just want to go through the subjective score on this one. On appearance, I gave it an 8, pretty high. It's very rounded, and some people say it would look like a big peanut, but it's got interesting lines on it. It's really a sleek design, so I think I like that quite a bit. On feel, that's where we get a little bit interesting with this one, because it doesn't really have great areas that you can get your finger to bite on it, so it's kind of hard to get it going. Plus it weighs a lot. It weighs 118 grams, which is really heavy. So it's a little bit hard to get a good bite on it, but it's got kind of a fluid, watery feel to it, which it's just a different feel. I don't know if I'd like all my fidget spinners to be this way, or I don't think that it would be my favorite, but still it's nice to have one that feels that way. It's just a different experience altogether. So I gave it an 8 on that as well. And on the perceived quality, I gave it an 8, partly because I found out it's got a really good bearing in it, and also I can tell on my rig whether there's any imbalance in the fidget spinners, and almost all of them, well, all of them are to some degree unbalanced, but this one is about the least unbalanced one I've ever seen. It's extremely closely matched on each side. You don't get any wobble at all that you can perceive. The only way I could see any difference was when it was coming to a stop on vertical spins. Obviously it favors one side over the other, but just slightly. I mean, you really can't get them much closer than that. So I think the quality on this is really well done. It's a well-made piece. And the shine on it is just superb. It's a really shiny, well-polished piece. So it got an overall subjective score of 8. Now where this thing really stands out is the spin time. It got an incredible 13 minutes and 59 second average spin time. That's the average spin time of 13 minutes, just one second shy of 14 minutes for an average. And I don't think I've ever had one that got anywhere near that long for an average score before. I've had a few break that score, but this one broke that score too on vertical spins. The longest spin was 15 minutes and 44 seconds, which is really amazing. The thing is really a true long spinner. So if you're into long spinners, this is definitely the one to have, and that's right out of the box too. I didn't do anything at all to the bearing. So I don't know what would happen if you cleaned the bearing or did some other things that you do. I tried to look and see what it was. It doesn't say on the website what kind of bearing it is. I tried to look at it. It looks like just a standard 10-ball stainless steel R188. And I would like to point out also that a spinner this heavy, 118 grams, has got an R188 bearing in it. It works fine, so I don't know why everybody's got to go sticking those 608s and 606s in there. Is that what they are? 608 and 60, yeah, something like that. Anyway, it did have a little bit of variability, of course. It was around 13 minutes, a little over 13 minutes on horizontal spins, and it got 14 minutes and 15:44 for vertical spins. So it went a little bit longer on the vertical spins than on the horizontal spins, but still the overall variability was only 41 seconds. And it got an overall score of 8.3, which qualifies it as a superior spinner. So I think certainly if you like long spinners, this is one you have to have. But if you want to try a little bit different feel, something that feels a little more slippery and watery than some other spinners, this would be a good thing to get. It costs normally $80 on the website, which is nautilushklimited.com, and they've got it on sale right now for $69. So it's worth it, I'd say. Definitely worth $69. $80 probably. It's not too bad a price. But there you go. That's the Nautilus.